Now, back to the interview from a few minutes ago with Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. The best of the morning X.
99X.
Here's what's going on. Here's what happens. So, phone rings in the other studio where Todd works. He says, some chick on the phone says she's Courtney Love. All right, whatever. So he transfers the call in here into the main studio. Sure enough, it's Courtney, who was in town, hanging out. Well, let me ask you this question about that. Okay.
No, go ahead. Whatever. I mean, it's an
because every artist has fans and detractors. You have people who like your music. You have people,
especially me.
Yeah, but you have people. You have people who like your music. You have people who don't like your music. Whatever. There are people who like 99X. People who hate 99X.
Well, yeah,
but,
and chicks singing rock is a polarizing thing too.
Whatever it is. But like when we mentioned that you were going to come on and everything, the emails started coming in. And it seems like
was it
the
50-50
people,
or 80-20?
Well, I can tell you,
you got to remember that people like in country. I know this from the country radio format that if there's something with too many requests, they take it off because it's the people that pick up the phone. That's a small part of a demographic.
Yeah,
I was going to say. I was going to say most of the mail we got was negative, but that's because people aren't usually inclined to send in positive email. It's negative feedback that you usually get.
I'm used to it.
The people who don't like you seem to be big fans of Nirvana.
Well, that's the newest thing, yeah.
So my question to you is, does that bother you that the people who really seem to be detractors are Nirvana fans?
Because the trial that I have with Universal is so much more important for hundreds of thousands of musicians from generations past and generations future. And this is a small, stupid, dumb case. I got suckered into a trendy law back in the 90s that they don't even do anymore, called an LLC, and it just no one's losing any money. And what's happening is that catalog is being liquidated, and me and my daughter are the heirs, and it's just they can't run it, and I don't. Just that's all, and that's what the judge is probably going to say.
It's not really about, isn't it about to an extent like people who are saying, wait a minute, how can she think that she has as much entitlement as Dave and Chris? That's
a really interesting thing because you're talking about trial by 15-year-olds, and when we form our bands, in the American Constitution, we have an institution known as marriage, and we also have things called last wills and testaments, and we make our intentions clear in those, and those were made clear by my former husband, I was just snookered into this thing by some pretty foxy lawyers. So it doesn't really take away their power. Particularly, it takes away their power to be able to do and say things and. Why do I put this? It's just, this is a guy that I was married to, and we did that by choice, and that's the law in America. Now, when you're young and you start your band, everybody wants to go on that REM model. I know that I do. I offer equity. I offered Sam equity. She was like, salary, thank you. But when Nirvana was started, it was sort of for a moment equal, and then he said, forget it. You guys are all millionaires. I wrote all the songs. I wrote every note of almost every song. And this is my band. And he refused to sign a partnership agreement with them and made that a very clear thing. And so that's that. It's just dumb.
You actually are Priscilla Presley of a particular generation.
No, I'm not.
Well, in the sense that you were...
That. I can't. I actually hire somebody else to go be Priscilla Presley because I don't want to do that.
I mean it in a positive way in that you're... Well, what I mean is that you were married. You were married to the Elvis
Naked
of his.
Gun.
No, but you were married to the Elvis of a particular generation.
Yeah, but I'm an Elvis too. So
of course you're Elvisina.
So it was
Yeah.
And he kind of only dated chicks in bands. He was a bit of a groupie.
Who was?
Kurt.
Kurt was.
I at least dated architects and stuff.
So you dated architects?
I dated one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, a band is a band, and there's always a leader. Mm-hmm. And in the 90s, we didn't call ourselves Bryan Adams, or Jimi Hendrix.
Cool.
I still think it's really cool that you came in here today.
Well, thank you. I hope that folks liked it.
The best of the morning X. 99X. Hello, my loves. It's Lala Kent. Yes, that Lala. And if you're not listening to the Give Them Lala podcast, here's what you're missing out on.
I stayed with my 2 kids. Mom and Kristen shared a room, and you and Landon shared a room. What the hell is going on? A lesbian couple, a gay couple, and then this
random woman with 2 kids.
So weird, but to me, it's the most common thing. This is my brother, his best friend, and my mom and her best friend. This is just how we roll. This is called the pod, okay?
Give Them Lala. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.